to Candid Talk. How's everybody doing tonight? Yes. This is Lexee Love and
Valentina versus Valentino.
We have a panel tonight. We got 4 guys here. But first, before we get started, we want to talk about what kind of drink did you prepare for these guys?
Okay, so I picked something that, is definitely different from what we normally do, something sweet. Since we have guys on our panel today, I made an old-fashioned. Old-fashioned is pretty much, a classic bartender drink. I did the thing. So what I pretty much used was bourbon, bitters, simple syrup, and that's it.
Cherry. You put a cherry in here.
Let me go.
Cherry and orange.
An orange peel.
Yep. And that's pretty much it. Simple drink.
Yeah, it's actually a New Yorker drink. So
originated in New York.
Yeah.
New
It's pretty good. I like it. I don't really drink whiskey or bourbon, but it's good.
Yeah, we're drinking tequila.
Yeah, we're drinking tequila. So we're gonna go ahead and introduce our guests, and we're gonna go across the line, and then we'll get started.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, Seangarveyatl, host of The Mental Space on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Also, the creator and writer of Unemployment Check podcast. And I am also the host of the Beat Break Morning Show podcast and Reach One Communications. So happy to be here.
Yes, glad you came.
Yes.
Perfect. Yes, y'all. It's D Trill. Here's Trillness.
Yes.
I am from the Champagne and Paper Cups podcast, formerly known as the Uncivil War podcast, one half. I'm down one today. Carmen Donis is my other half on the podcast. He had
things to do.
So it's just me representing for the crew.
Yep.
And you can find me everywhere.
Definitely.
Go to his Trillness IG. Shout out to all 20,000 people that's there already, and jump on with it.
Yes.
Come get it.
Okay.
All right. Once again, I'm back for a second time. My name is Howard Horn. I'm an actor here in the good old city of Atlanta. You can catch me in Sisters in the Shrink 2 and 3 on Amazon Prime, and also The Prayer on Tubi. And I'm just excited to be here once again with Lexee and Valentina.
Yay!
And excited about this podcast.
I love it.
Hi, everyone. I really feel outclassed today.
My dad, you should not.
I'm not a podcaster, but got a little bit of experience way back. And as Lexee indicated, I'm her father, Valentina's grandfather. I'm retired Navy, retired civil service. Don't do anything now except have fun.
Enjoy life.
Enjoy life. That's what it's all about.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So normally what we do, we have pet peeves or something exciting happened. And does anybody on the panel have a pet peeve that they want to talk about or anything exciting that happened to them this week?
Ooh, do you really want to know?
Well, if you can make it a 30 seconds to a minute.
I know. I mean, let's just say yesterday was interesting.
Okay.
It involves mental health.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to go too deep in it. But if you watch the news, if you listen to the news,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The shooter?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Very sad situation with
it
that.
is. So it is. Thoughts and prayers to the families out there that lost their loved ones. But mental health is something that we always got to continue on talking about.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Anybody else got anything to share?
I've got a serious pet peeve. My pet peeve has to do with individuals who tell you they're going to do something at a certain time, and they never follow through. Example, I just had a contractor who was supposed to do some work for me, and he said, I'm going to be there at a certain time on a certain day to do this work, and didn't show up, didn't call, didn't do anything. I called him up, said, what's going on? He said, I've got a couple of people who are out sick, so I couldn't make it. Why didn't you call me? Well, I thought I was going to a little later, but...
He thought.
And then later on, another time, he was supposed to be out at a certain time, and he, again, didn't show up. And this time it was machinery problems.
Oh, my
Again,
goodness.
it didn't call. But he finally got the job done. It was a 3-day job, and it took him 3 weeks to do it.
3
He
weeks?
got it done, yeah.
So was that a
But
3-week?
needless to say, I'll never hire him again.
Was that a 3-week discount for that?
No, you know better than that.
You know better than that. No, right.
Well, I don't got a pet peeve really this week.
I don't have a pet peeve, but I do have I do have like an enlightenment moment.
Okay.
Somebody sent me a video today, and it was about a woman who was working out, and she started out heavy set, and the guy that was narrating it was saying the most. Like, he was saying the things that was getting me the most. Like, you see these videos all the time.
Yes.
When somebody's working out, they start out like heavy, and then as the video progresses, they slimming down and this and that. But this guy was saying something that was actually like, you know how sometimes like if you're in church and it sounds like the pastor's just preaching, and he's like, dang, I felt like he just came for me. I felt like what this guy was saying came for me. And this is what he said. He said, are you going to be exactly what you are right now next year? That came for me. And this is the reason why. A lot of times I feel like I come home and I do all of these things and I jump in the race, and just like how this guy just named off 1,000 things that he does, 1,000 things that I do, 1,000 things you do, little bit of things you doing now, but 1,000 things you've done. And just sometimes I actually feel like I'm just running on the treadmill.
Yeah, it sounds like
Right.
a lot of us.
You know what I mean? So it was like, do something bold this time.
Yeah. Well, that's
Even if you fall off the cliff, do something bold this time.
of course.
This year, you got to do something else, because last year, this is what you was doing.
Yeah. You don't
And
wanna
that's
look
how
the
that
same.
hit me, and that was the enlightenment moment. It might not be a pet peeve, might be very sexy, but it was heavy for me because it was
Yes.
just like, dang, dude.
Made you think.
Yeah, cause like I'm always like, yo, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna go hard and blah blah. Oh, Monday.
That
All right,
alarm.
next Monday. All right, next Monday. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it next Monday.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how many next Mondays you got? You
I
might
don't
not
know.
even wake up Monday.
I don't know. So I guess you need to get started, huh? Whatever that is.
That's it.
To jump off that cliff.
Jump off the cliff.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was the moment.
So yeah, you'll land in the water. Whatever,
know I
whatever
am.
it is.
And I'm gonna swim like a fish.
Yes.
Knowing me. But you just gotta do it.
Just gotta do it.
Right. So
That's why we do this podcast. We just started doing it.
just gotta do it.
She's like, one day she's like, let's do a podcast, Mom.
Why not?
Okay. Why not?
I'm glad
So
she-
look at
I'm glad she said
it.
I got
I'm
four,
glad she said it.
Well, actually, you know what? I had more guys, but I could not find a studio, unfortunately, that would hold all of us. So I had to cut it. Yes.
This is good right here.
Yes, this
Yes,
is
yes,
great. I mean,
this
this
is
is,
great,
but this
yeah.
is
This
good
still
for
works
me.
out.
This is good
Yeah.
for me because this is, a learning curve for me. So yeah, before we actually get started, I always do my little sponsor. So I want to say thank you for everyone that has sponsored, and my guests, they will get one of these tumblers, and you can get it from wealthcity.shop, and it's a tumbler, and actually it's really good for cold water, for hot teas. Hot coffee will keep stuff cold or your stuff hot, and I just look for people to buy from me and help out.
I forgot mine's at home.
You forgot. She was always forgetting something. But
Because we always rushing all the time.
yeah, we always seem
we
to be
literally
rushing.
take all day to get ready. and
Yes, we
then still
literally
manage to
took all
forget
day to
stuff.
get ready. Literally. And we still were late. We had to pick up my dad, and then the traffic was horrible.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, good thing it wasn't yesterday.
Oh, it was.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because of the whole
Forget
shooting.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was worse yesterday.
Because of the whole
No
shooting.
question.
Yeah.
In
Shut
this
down.
area, this is Midtown. It wouldn't have shut
This
down.
is.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's where it
gosh.
happened.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. So, yeah,
I'm
it
glad.
worked out
I do kind of glad.
perfectly.
Yeah, kind of glad we live where we live at. But the title of this podcast is Life Experiences in Relationships. And the reason why I had guys come on here, because we always talk about how the females feel, how we want, what we gonna do for the guys. We want to know how you guys actually think and feel about women, relationships, what have you experienced, that kind of thing. So my dad actually read them. He's like, oh, did this come out of your mind? I'm like, yeah. He said, these are some deep questions. So yeah, so you guys ready? Y'all ready? And you know what? If it relates to you,
Jump in there.
Yeah,
Do
jump
we need
in
a
there.
disclaimer
Yep.
or no?
No, there ain't no unless you just want to zip your mouth up.
Oh no! I mean, nah. This drink right here is not gonna sit my mouth up. At all.
Okay. Whatever you want the world, I say this. Whatever you want the world to know, that's what you say, because
Right.
this is gonna be big for us. So the first question is: as a man, what emotional experience do you want from a woman? Drum. Anybody?
Who's first?
Anybody?
So
Emotional experiences. What do you want from a woman?
what do we call an emotional experience? What do we call it?
I mean, how do you want her to be? Do you want her to be feminine? Do you want her to be masculine? Do you want her to be there for you when it's hard? Do you want her to give you encouragement? That kind of emotional. Women, we are emotional. What do you want? What do you want?
Fellas,
from
I'm
us?
gonna dive in the pool first.
Okay.
I know you got it queued up. I know you
Nah,
got.
I'm gonna let you have it. Yeah.
I'm gonna be the Indian over the hill.
Okay.
Be careful, it's only 2 feet deep.
right. So this is the reality. You're gonna meet a woman. She's gonna be that woman, and she can only be who she is. Right?
Correct.
That's the bottom line. You are who you are. Sometimes you are enamored by what she is, right? And then you say, I will bend to meet that because I like her.
Okay.
You right? So a lot of times what I'm looking for is chemistry. And the emotions are just her emotions. Like, I don't like to dictate emotions. I don't like to say, you have to be this. That's irresponsible. I feel like that's almost
good.
just kind of like, that's
You're telling
almost
her how to be, telling her how
right,
she should
right.
be.
If she don't fit that, then look, it's all right for you to get out. It's all right for you to say, nice to meet you. This was great. You know, you don't have to like do anything, inappropriate or just, but it's okay for you to not pursue if it does not line up with you.
Okay.
I think a lot of guys need to know that, because a lot of guys chase the wrong things. But I will say this. I am looking for more of a chemistry, more of a parallel alignment, more of a like, not me and you like the same movies, but like, man, I feel like how you feel about that issue.
Yes.
You
There's a
or
common
like
ground.
or like I'm feeling this way right now. Can you feel me? Not can you agree, but can you feel me?
Or understand. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of thing is chemistry. I think it's unrealistic to say, I want you to be.
Well,
I
that's
want,
good.
you know what I mean? Like, right. So I actually feel like, be respectful. If it don't line up, respectfully remove yourself,
Okay.
or whatever, and just look for the vibe.
Okay.
That was a great answer.
Yeah, that was good.
I want to come behind.
You want to come
I
behind?
want to come behind this gentleman what he said, because he made some very valid points. He used the word chemistry, the C word, chemistry. I want to offer another C word as far as what I'm looking for in a woman, and that's communication.
Okay.
And communication to me has become very, very paramount than ever before, because in the world that we're living in right now, in the digital age, where we do a lot of communication via social media, via
Yes.
texting, it's hard to know if I'm getting that masculine energy from you or that feminine energy from you through a text. I want to go beyond that. I'm old school. I'm from the old school. I'm from the days where
You want to talk on the phone.
I want to talk on the phone before the internet, before the texting and all that. We picked up the phone and we talked to each other to get, like what this gentleman just said a few moments ago, a vibe. So the kind of vibe that I'm looking for before anything else is communication. And once we are on the same page as far as communication goes, that lets me know what I'm tapping into, what kind of energy, synergy that I'm getting from you. And then I will determine, or we both will determine, whether we have the right chemistry or otherwise. I think we shouldn't just be limited to just limited communication. I understand that. Another thing too, we all got busy lives.
Yes.
We're adults. So if you put yourself, if me, i.e. Seangarvey, put myself in the dating scene, right? I got to make time for what I need. And what I need is vulnerability.
Yeah.
What I need is effective communication. So that way, I want to see where this goes.
So do you guys think emotional includes her being intimate with you? Not meaning sexually, but intimate. Like she shows that she really, is interested in you.
If she can do it naturally.
Okay.
Like I don't want her to do anything that's not natural.
Okay.
Like you know what I mean? It's like a lot of times we divvy away from what's inside of us.
Yeah.
We gotta stop doing that, because
I think it's fear. I think a lot of times it's fear because you've been hurt.
But what it does is
in a
it stirs
relationship.
resentment. Like if I want you to do something and you doing it for me because you're doing it for me because I asked you to, not because it's naturally what you would do, that's gonna stir resentment in the long run.
Yeah.
And that's just that's no good.
Anybody else? Or
Well, I agree with the two gentlemen on the the communication and the chemistry. But I think a big part of a relationship is encouragement. When I'm with a female partner, my wife in this case,
Joanne.
I look for, if I'm doing something for her or something I feel that she needs done, I feel like she should communicate some encouragement to me, telling me this is a positive thing, not just this is something that is expected. And it's taken for granted.
Yeah, appreciate. You want her to appreciate
Exactly,
what you're doing.
exactly that.
Yeah.
So appreciation, encouragement, communication, chemistry.
Can somebody give me a pen and pad? I need to take notes.
That's the OG right there.
I need to take notes out of that.
So, do you like the quote, "What do you bring to the table?" Because I'm in the dating scene and I've had that, and I told a guy, I bring a knife and a fork. That's what I bring to the table.
That's all you should. That's all you should bring.
And I didn't have any more communication with that person. So as a guys, have you guys ever said that or ever heard that? Or one of your friends ever said, I met this girl, but I asked her what she bring to the table. I mean, hey, I'm telling you. It's
Maybe
serious.
that's not really a thing. Or at least it
I've been asked it.
No, that's
I've never been asked that.
That's a huge thing. That is a thing. But the thing is that it is not. It's like, what does it really mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
So when somebody asks you that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why the answer that you give may or may not be valid is because you're gonna change. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like what I bring to the table today might not be what I'm gonna bring to the table in 2026. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's the one thing that I've learned in the last 5 years is that people come in one way, they change, but what you cannot do is be upset with the evolution of them.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to see if you can grow with that evolution.
Yes.
Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Like if I say, hey, you and I are gonna be this thing. Me and you all week. Today we in love, right? It's the honeymoon phase. We on trips. We spending. Look, reality kicks in, time kicks in, bills kick in, and all of those things
Kids.
no matter what it is, all of those things are going to bring you a change.
Yes.
In here. Can I withstand your change? Do I love you enough? Look, if I meet a woman and say, "Hey, today, look, I'm gonna do this podcast, and in 2 years from now, I say I want to go to Africa and I want to change. I want to feed those kids. You coming with me? You don't even know. You don't even know until 2 years from. But you have to have enough in here to be able to say, all right, let's figure it out. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're like, you started out talking about you was doing a podcast. I actually wanted to meet the podcast guy, marry the podcast. You see what I'm saying? So what I bring to the table, that might not be what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
And you see what I'm saying? So the answer is never going to be real.
I don't think that's a really good question to ask somebody that you
I don't think it is either.
Yeah,
I don't think it is either.
Well, but let's go back to the knife. What did you say? Knife and fork.
Yeah, I said I bring a knife and a fork to the table.
If I receive that comment back from that question, I think it might turn me off a little bit too.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying is
It turned
I'm
me
here
off.
to receive. I don't.
But it turned me off because that
That
was
he-
a
that he
question.
asked that
Yeah,
question.
that was the first question he asked.
So you asked, what are
No,
you?
he asked me.
And you said knife and fork.
Yes, because
But
it was
you
the
was
first.
turned off by the question.
Yes, because it was the first question
and
he
he
asked
was
me.
turned off by the answer.
Yes, because
Gotcha.
I already
Okay.
knew. I already
Okay.
knew I wasn't even gonna be bothered. Because how do you just
Yeah.
speak to somebody and that's the first question you
so
ask?
that was your intent to turn this individual off.
Yes, that was my intent.
Well, I look at it from two different sides, and I can understand why the question is put out there. What do you bring to the table? Now, I can only speak from my personal experience in dating. I never had to ask a woman what she brings to the table, and I've never been asked what I bring to the table. But I think people look at it as time. What do you bring to the table? What do we bring to the table to see if I'm worth your time before investing? Because time is expensive than anything.
Yes, it is.
It's
Can't
way
get it
more-
back.
You can't get it back. It's expensive than a house.
Lexi, can I
or-
ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
So when you told him knife and fork, like, what do you mean by that?
What did I mean?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Because I was actually being sarcastic because he asked me what did I bring to the table?
That wasn't your real answer, though, right?
Huh?
That wasn't your real.
That was
answer.
yes.
That was
I said that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I said
good.
that because I felt like it doesn't matter if I'm a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever. If I'm a multimillionaire, you're not going to know this until you get to know me because I don't want you to know me and want to be with me based on the materialistic things that I have.
I actually respect that a lot. I actually think that the question it is insulting.
It was inappropriate.
It's inappropriate. You know what I mean? And I know I get this is y'all's platform and forum, and it's like, but I'm not just agreeing because of that. Like who says that?
Yes, you get to
That's
learn
not
the
even-
person.
That's
learn
not
who
even
they
social
are.
decorum. You know what I mean? Like who says that to a lady?
Yeah, get to learn the person. You may not even like them, even though they may be a doctor or lawyer, and you find out I don't even like this person. So it doesn't matter what kind of job they have or what they bring to the table. I don't like them.
Well, if she asks me what do I bring to the table, then I'm gonna ask the same question back. I mean, I think it's just only fair because it just depends on who you're communicating and talking to, right? I mean, there are people who do things. Let's just keep it 100. There are people that do things unorthodox than other people in the dating scene, including asking questions like, what do you bring to the table? Because once again, it just goes back to time. And I don't know this person's story. This person's story may have been bad, went through a slew of bad guys or bad people in their dating, and they just want to know, like, what do you bring to the table?
Or people
that
that took
the
advantage.
that the other people in my past did not bring. And that question may have not been proposed before, but there's just people that are just out there that don't want to waste their time anymore.
Or either they haven't healed yet and they're out there dating, so maybe somebody has hurt them. And they're just like,
yeah.
I mean, people
But we
still date when they aren't healed.
I want to refer to your dad real quick.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that if you let this man tell his story, this man's story is going to outweigh every story in this room because he's more tenured than anybody here. But the real thing is this: I can tell he has kept his social decorum at all times. When you say that, I actually almost feel like it's just like we cannot give people a pass for asking them kind of questions. You know what I'm saying? We cannot give nobody a pass for saying, "What do you bring to the table?" What kind of aggression?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First of all, you're not qualified to ask me anything yet. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I get that.
You're not even qualified to ask me what I bring to the table. Ask me what my favorite color is.
Right.
What kind of flowers I like. Where do I like to go?
Yeah.
You see
Try
what
to
I'm
get to
saying?
know me.
Right,
Yes.
right.
As a person.
And it's like, yo, I get it. People have been through the storm. But there have been people before us that have been through a worst storm. Look at the way they carried, learn
Take the
social cues, read the room, learn decorum.
Yes.
Don't ask a lady, what does she bring to the table? Are you kidding me?
Well, you know what? I don't want to, stay too long on any of these questions because
Nah,
I got a lot. I got a lot of questions, and I'm trying to get all of the information out of you guys. Okay, go ahead, Howard. Go ahead, Howard.
It's the wrong question to ask, first of all.
Absolutely.
A better question would be, what are your expectations in this relationship? Not,
Right.
Thank you.
not what do you bring to the table, because you're
Right.
going to turn, either way, it's going to turn off the person who's asked that,
From me.
you know? And I know they're trying to probably weed out the fact that I'm not looking for a gold digger or the females in a broke. I ain't gonna say the N-word, but you know what I mean.
Yes,
so
yes.
a broke. So yeah, you're trying to get that out the way from the start, so you're not wasting your time. But you can't just say, "What do you bring to the table?"
That's
You gotta say, "Well, what are your expectations in this relationship?
Right.
What are you expecting us to go from here?"
I don't think that's the right question to ask on the first date. I think that's a question. If you are going to ask a question, what do you bring it to the table? That should be later on. Now,
where
on the
do you
first
see
date.
yourself?
Where do you see? Oh yeah, you know what I mean. Because if you do a survey with a lot of women that are currently in the dating scene or have been in the dating scene, they would say that talking and dating a person is just like a job interview.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to a job interview and your potential employer asks, what do you bring to the company? What do you think you bring value? What kind of value you think you bring to the company? It's the same thing.
That's what I feel like.
yeah.
I'm in an interview half the time, and I get bored real quick. I get bored.
Right.
But yeah, what?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. And that's why I can just scratch them off. Just scratch them off. Okay, yep, and waste my time. What is something about a woman that turns on your vulnerability as a man?
That's a good question.
I'll come in. I say 2 words: safe space.
Okay.
Providing a safe space for me to really speak and to really say what's on my mind without any type of defense mechanism or pushback. I've come to realize, going back to communication, I've come to realize that when you communicate with somebody, don't respond to react. Respond to understand. You know, and I think a lot of problems in the communication world is that, one, we talk over each other. When 2 people are talking over each other, there's no point across. It ain't getting us anywhere.
Yes.
I just believe, and it goes back to what I said, communication. Listening to you, listening to you, Lexee, listening to me, and just getting some kind of rapport.
Comprehension too. This is
Absolutely.
a big thing.
Yeah.
Anybody else on?
Say relatability. If she can relate to me, you know what I'm saying, and experiences I've been through. Like, for example, she tells you how she's been hurt. She's not looking to just have a fling. And you can relate to that. So you're going to be more vulnerable because you don't want to be hurt either. So you understand where she's coming from. She understands, like you said, communicating, understanding where you're coming from. So I think you allow yourself to be more vulnerable because she's letting you know, hey, I've been through this before too. I've been hurt. I'm not trying to play these games. So if that's what you're looking for, don't waste my time. I won't waste yours.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is trust. When you really develop a trust for a person, you can open yourself up totally and allow that person to really get inside you, so to speak. And and at that point, you do become very vulnerable. Excuse my
No, you're good, Dad.
excuse my voice, but the pollen out here is driving me crazy. But I think trust is a
It's
key.
big priority in any relationship, even if it's not romantic, just a friendship. There has to be trust, because if you don't trust that person, what's the point in even being in a relationship with them? Period. So yeah. So, do you think it's important for equal role play, or does each individual have a specific role when it comes to building a household together? You haven't even chimed in. You got Valentina hasn't chimed in on anything.
Well, I mean, this is
I
us
know,
getting their response.
I know, but you can chime in. But
Can you ask that question again?
okay, do you think it's important for equal role play, or does each individual have a specific role when it comes to building a household together?
I want to hear what Valentina has to say. She was about to say something.
Was I?
You was. Get in there.
So I feel like in today's society that it definitely should be equal role. I feel like women have come a long way as far as just being independent, that we can work, that we can play more than just, being at home and taking care of the kids. So I feel like it takes two people to build a home, So that's how I feel
18?
about it. No, I'm not 18.
Oh, I thought she said she was 18.
No, that's Sierra.
No, that's Sierra.
The one that
I
does
was
the
about to
beats.
say, nobody 18 would have said that. No way.
Not making no drinks.
Right. No way. No,
She's younger than you, and she's
she's
younger
way
than you.
young. She's way younger than me.
No, you'd be surprised.
All right, well.
We keep our youth
Yeah,
for
I
a
see
very
black don't
long
crack. Hey,
time.
Black don't crack.
Black don't crack, right?
I want to piggyback and say, the thing is, I saw a video. You commented on it, and then the lady asked
The bus driver?
the bus driver. She was like, "Would you date a bus driver?"
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, we.
And I love this is the reality. I like to talk reality, man. I like to talk reality, and I don't like to do like clapping points and everybody's. I don't want to make one space feel empowered. The reality is this: there are some women out there that actually don't want to date the bus driver.
Nope, they don't.
Hey, we can't be mad at that lady.
Right.
That's the real thing. I'm not a bus driver, but I'm not a millionaire. But I do know not to approach that woman.
Well, you know what? I'll give you a prime example. My mother's brother was a bus driver for 30 years?
Something like that, yeah.
He's a millionaire.
But look, bottom line is this. You don't if you say you don't want if you take something and say I don't want to do it because somebody's doing whatever, you are limiting yourself.
Very
That's
much.
on you.
Very much.
That's on you. But I'm not gonna shame you. I'm not gonna this kind of person. I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is like you've told me what not to do, and that's approach you, right? You're not fine. You did me a grand favor. I actually wish everybody felt that way about it. Mm-hmm. Like, listen to what these women have in here. Don't try to go in there and say, you're gonna date a bus driver. Like they're not. They don't have it in here to do it. She said, the lady said in response, you're wrong. She said, that's wrong. And I said, wow. She told that lady how she felt inside was wrong.
Well, I guess she was looking at it wrong, is that you're judging him solely based on his career that he chose.
You're not basing off their character.
It's wrong in general, but it's not wrong for her.
Yeah.
Let that lady go on and date. Try to find somebody that's not driving the bus. You see what I'm saying?
Limousine, maybe?
Hey, bottom line,
You wanna move up a little
do what
bit?
you do. I'm going to do what you do based on what you said.
Of course.
And that's it. When we say, do we want equal roles and this, that, and the other, we're going to meet a woman. We're going to listen to them. They're going to say what they are capable of and A, B, C, D, and E. and we're gonna choose from there.
Make a decision.
That's it.
You gotta respect it.
You gotta respect. There's no way I'm gonna be mad at you. I work at a company right now. I write quotes. I'm an inside sales guy. I only make X a year, right? Somebody might not be with that. Sorry, ma'am. This is me until it gets better.
Right.
And when it gets better, guess what? I'm not gonna be looking for you.
That's right.
Right.
I think you should. You know what? And this is probably people. This is not really famous for people, or people think this is. But I think the struggle with somebody that you love or want to be with is okay.
It is okay. And guess what else is okay? Me not wanting to go to that struggle. There are women out there that don't want to go through that struggle because they are actually. I get it. I know. I see you like. No, but there are women that don't want to do it, and I don't want to get in their way. Who are we to say? I'm not qualified to say you right or wrong on whatever.
I get that, but I just feel like you are limiting yourself for potential. Because you are this type of person I've seen it, where somebody was on the lowest part, and then 10, 15 years, they running the company. They're doing this. They're doing that.
We got to let that be their downfall, though.
But that's what I'm just saying.
Know what I'm saying? That's on y'all. But I'm gonna push on. I started out like this. Watch what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
You know
and then
I'm
gonna wave at you. Hey, when I'm at the penthouse, what you doing?
Right.
No, you can't come up here.
Exactly.
So
I think. Can I also?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You got to know what you're signing up for.
Definitely.
There are people out here that get into a relationship and thinking that, if I can just change him, if I can just fix him, he get to where he needs to be. And in reality, since you're speaking from a reality standpoint, in the real world, the only person that can change that person is that person himself.
Yes.
Right.
Same thing herself. You can't make that person become the person that they are. They have to. It's something in him that will motivate him to get to where he needs to be.
I think that's a woman's problem. We always want to fix everything.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
We're
Some
not.
of the stuff that women point out need to be fixed.
Yeah.
I agree.
But you're right about when you're saying you have to want to change yourself as well.
Right.
You have to want to change.
It's just like, and like I said, going back to my show, The Mental Space, which I talk about all things considered mental health. You can go to seek a therapist and get the help that you are going in for, but you have to do the work yourself. So we're talking about from an aspect of self-accountability.
Yes.
You got to hold yourself accountable to get to where you need to be. That person that you are in a relationship with or you dating can only hold you accountable for so long. Mm-hmm. You can't force a person to get to where he needs to be. You can't put a gun to his head and say, hey, you're going to be a lawyer tomorrow. Yeah. Or I'm going to blow your brains out. I don't mean to be graphic, y'all. But, that's just what it is. That's the bottom line, right? You can't force somebody, but you can motivate that person. You can, maybe like share some information or be like, hey, honey, I came across this. Maybe this is something you can look into to,
well,
help
that's
with
how
your
a
career,
relationship should be. I mean, when two people are together, you're always trying to elevate each other up. You're always encouraging each other to do stuff, especially if a person brings it up. Hey, I want to do this. You want to encourage that, that person.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna keep on going because I got a little deep.
Real quick.
Okay.
I'll make it quick.
I'm so glad.
Look, I'll make it quick. I do think we have certain roles to fulfill as men and women, and I'm talking about men and women in the traditional sense. I'm not talking about everything else, because we are different, so we fulfill different purposes. You can't ask a woman to lift. A typical woman to lift 1,000 pounds or something that a man would lift. And there's certain situations that require us to do certain things. A man can't have a child. So how can there has to be roles. There just has to. And there has to be leadership as well. Now, if you're a Christian, if you're not, but I am, there is a headship. There is a leadership. The man and his woman. That doesn't mean he has to dominate her. Doesn't mean he has to boss her around, treat her like crap. But he is her leader. But he does value her, and he values what she says, what she thinks, how she feels. She's his partner. But there are two specific roles in a relationship between a man and a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
That was a good answer.
It was a good answer, Valentina.
I like that. I like that.
Simple.
Yeah.
Dad?
Very good answer.
Okay.
I'm just
Very
saying,
good.
I can't speak on
Agree.
Well,
Yeah.
we going a little deeper.
Okay.
We gonna go a little deeper. So let's see if you guys
How
are gonna
deep we
answer
talking
this.
about? How deep?
We gonna see.
All right.
Is sex in a relationship important, and how much of it is a priority?
Jesus.
You knew I was gonna talk about sex, baby.
No,
So now
I
start
don't
the
think
car.
he had any of that.
Absolutely.
He said Jesus.
Absolutely.
Cause I know. I mean,
Absolutely.
we know men are visual. You guys are more visual, and we're more emotional. We want to be. We emotionally attach ourselves emotionally before we attach physically.
Yeah, we're
That's
more
how I
physical.
feel. Yeah, men are more physical.
Our connection to you is more physical. Like you said, it's more emotional for y'all. So it's important.
How high of your priority is it for you? When you're in we're talking about not just meeting a woman. We're talking about when you guys connect and you are seen on a regular basis. How important is sex in the relationship once you guys decide, okay, we're going to be together?
I don't know. It's I guess it depends on the circumstances. You know, everybody's different. But well, I'm just
No,
saying,
I'm talking about you. I ain't talking about nobody else.
But I'm just saying.
We want to know your business.
Give him his space. He doing. I love what he's doing right
It's a
now.
good
Drink some more.
question.
Drink some more.
Yeah, I know, right? That's a good question. It's just like I said, if both of y'all work 12 hours a day, and you come home, you know, yeah, you might be like, "Hey, what's up?" And she might be like, "Well, I'm just ready to go to sleep." So, I mean,
I
It's
guess it
important.
depends. I guess it depends on who the female is.
Yeah.
Well, on a scale from 1 to 10, I would put it at about 15. Okay. That's
Okay.
okay,
my
all
Let's
right.
go ahead. Okay,
Contribution.
daddy. Okay, daddy. I know where I get mine from then.
I'm gonna go higher. I'm gonna say 20.
You gonna say 20?
I'm gonna say 20,
Okay.
but see, the explanation to behind that is you're gonna be in the same bed with that person, and you know you're gonna have to wake up with that person. If it gets to the level of marriage, you're gonna wake up to that person every single day from a physical aspect, you know. And to me, sex is, or matter of fact, I should say intimacy, because there's a difference between intimacy
definitely.
and sex. I would say the other word, but I know this is PG-13.
Yeah.
But you know,
And
the
it's on
intimacy,
YouTube.
right? The intimacy part is everything in between, the spirituality, the connection, the, like you just used earlier, the word chemistry. Everything, right? So if you got me mentally, then you also have me physically.
Yes.
If you don't have me mentally, then I'm not attracted to you anymore. That thoughts about wanting to be intimate with you or just even having sex with you is gone if you show me some things that are a turn off to me. But if the chemistry is there, the connection is there, if we like this, like real tight, then I'd be like, man, I want to make love to this person every day if I wanted to. In the real world, you don't make love to your person every day,
But I know what
as
you're
much
saying.
as much as you want to, because
Yeah.
I really in love with that person.
Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
What about you, D? Real?
I have to say, speak for yourself.
You got about 25 more summers to go, so we know what we doing.
Hey.
The reality is this. The real answer is on a scale of 1 to 10, it varies.
It varies.
On a look, let's
Be
cut
real.
the
Be real.
let's cut
Cut to
this
the chase.
let's cut to the chase, right? You know what I would have normally said. On a day-to-day, your mate inspires you to want to do that.
Yes. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, one day I might not inspire her. I might have said something that was off color.
Okay.
I gotta. You see what I'm saying? The thing is, man, the reason why his answer is like that because he's a lion. You understand?
The lion.
Lions do not stop hunting. Don't let the gray hair fool you on that guy. He'll get to it. You see what I'm saying? He just told you he will. So the real thing is this: when you might be in a situation where the prey might not want to get caught because of something you said, because of something you did.
Yeah.
We might have to have a conversation.
Yeah.
We might have to have a conversation. And that's something that I want men to realize. Don't walk up to a woman and thinking just because you want something, it's about to happen. Mm-hmm. Do the inventory on your day. What's the last thing I said to her? What's the last thing I said to her that I meant? What's the last thing she said to me?
Yeah.
What's the last thing she said to me that she meant?
So you be going deep.
That's
this is why I love your podcast, because you be going deep.
That's the reality. That's actually on the surface. That ain't even deep. People, that's right there for all of us to see. You see,
but some people don't do that.
I feel like it's a gift. That's why I do it. So, but the thing is this: like, hey, don't you just walk in there, read the room, rub her hand. Ask her how her day was. See what she say. She give you them signs, get to it. She don't give you them signs, she's I'm feeling like this. ask her what's wrong. Did I do it? How can I fix it?
See.
And then she fixed it. Now y'all can get to it.
How you ain't married? How you not married?
So now start the car. Start the car now. She says, ask me to.
You sound college educated with all the information.
Man. I'm not. Actually, sometimes I don't even be feeling like that's me talking.
Okay.
I be feeling like that's God.
Well, why do you think there is a disconnect amongst the sexes, since we're talking about sex? Why do you think there is a disconnect? Anybody? You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Do you mean in regards to like
I mean, just any.
colors,
I mean,
or just anybody, just men and
just
women.
yeah, men
in
and
America?
women. Yeah, just what is the disconnect? Why do women have issues dating? Why do men have issues finding the right woman to be with? Because I noticed there's a lot of single black males walking around.
I'm
So
willing
you
to
wanna
bet
go there?
anything that he is going to have the right answer.
I want to hear him first.
10 years.
Dad.
10 years is going to answer that.
Big Brown, Big
I think
Brown.
it goes back to what you said initially. Women are emotional, men are physical. And
Are
sometimes
logical.
the two don't meet like they should, and I think that's the biggest reason.
Okay.
That might not make sense, but it does to me.
I think I heard you just said logical. If
Yeah,
I'm not.
men are logical
Logical?
thinkers. That's how I feel. Like I can be emotional about something and say, if somebody got me, I'll say pissed off, and I tell my man, hey, this happened to me, and I was mad, and I'm and he's looking at me, well, why did you just stand there? Why didn't you just walk away? I mean, that's what I'm just saying, that sometimes a man would say that instead of feeding into your emotional reason why you're upset. He'll just be like, well, why you just didn't walk away?
So to the gentleman's question, the brother right here question from earlier, what can I do to fix it? Men are wired to be problem solvers.
If he
From
wants
a
to
logical.
solve. Yeah.
If he wants to solve. Yeah, like if you got a fire alarm that's beeping, beep, beep,
Ugh.
beep. And I'm just telling you what I would do. Like, I'm gonna go up there and fix it real quick. We're just wired to be problem solvers, just like what the brother asked the question, what can I do to fix it? And sometimes we may not even ask. We just going to just say, hey, let me take care of that for you. And there's a lot of layers to that question on the disconnect. We can go all the way back to the 1960s, the 1970s, 80s, and further on. But now everybody is given a platform, just like the platform that we have here today, where we speak our minds a lot. And the disconnect, to be quite honest and transparent with everyone here, is there are people that are listening to the wrong people.
That too.
They listening to the wrong people that don't have the life experience to educate and to tell people, hey, this is what it is from a realistic standpoint. If you just speaking your own truth based off of a few experiences, that doesn't do much for me at 39. I'm still a student. I'm still trying to figure it out. So people listening to the wrong people, which at the end of the day, those people are just trying to make a profit, just trying to get to the bag. They selling you a problem, but they're not giving you a solution.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
buying
guys are
into
going
the
deep.
problem. Yeah.
Y'all are going deep with my questions. Like
Yeah,
deep.
but that's what we wanted.
Yeah, we wanted deep. Well, I already knew D-Rail was gonna be deep because he's deep all the time. Because I told him, I was like, he told me he wanted to bring his friend over there, and I said, you got to vibe for two people. Your vibe is so high, it's two people. So yeah, but
I think also too, it's the expectations, part of the disconnect. The expectations.
okay. What do
What
you?
do each one of you want?
But
That's gonna
I think it should be shared. I think that it's not shared in the beginning, especially if we'll say, because I mean, I'm a female, obviously, and we have a tendency to be more eager if we really like the guy, and we try to pull back. We try so hard, and I think it's not in our nature.
Men do that too.
I'm not.
Men do that too.
Okay. Okay. But I'm just saying that most of the time women are more apt, if they really like the guy, they are more apt to be more forthcoming. Oh, hey, I'm just going by experience.
Than a man?
Yeah.
Than a lion?
Well,
Wait a minute now. I'm a Capricorn.
But I know a lion when I see one. I mean, I've been listening to your answers. I mean, men are aggressive. I think it's equal.
I mean, they can be aggressive. They can.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think the expectation should be up front.
I like what he said about the expectations. I want to add to it. I think sometimes with the real so at work one day I was talking to this guy that's older guy at my job, and I asked him, I was like, hey, I'm talking to a young lady, and we going through it, blah blah blah. I was telling him all this stuff, and he stopped me mid sentence and he said, "Are you willing to serve her?"
He was preaching some church.
He said, "Are you willing? Are you willing to drop everything that you think that you need and serve her?" That's your disconnect. Nobody wants to serve. Let me tell you this. If you get two people that are willing to equally serve each other, it's over with.
Over with how?
They together.
Okay.
Period, point blank. Ain't no the search over. We're not looking. If I look at you and I say, I want to, hey, your tie went flat. Look, I gotta leave. My wife's tie went flat. Hey, what you got? You ain't got but $5 in you. Let me transfer you. All of the stuff that's on it, and all of these distractions, all of these things that individuals grow on, make you bigger. Oh, I'm wearing Guess. I'm wearing Gucci. Buy her that. Put her that in that, and she puts you in, and y'all serving each other. It's like a race to serve. If you're not willing to serve who you love, you're not gonna. This is over with. Y'all can just keep looking, but what you need to be looking for is the ability to serve the object of your affection. You
know what? That is a good word. To serve.
That's it.
To serve. I mean, that's in the Bible as well.
That's it.
Yeah, that's in the Bible. To serve. We are to
If
serve.
you're not willing to serve who you love, you can forget about it. Because that ultimately just says, you're just in it for you. Mm-hmm. Being in it for you ain't going to get y'all nowhere, man.
No, it's not. It's not. That you went deep with me.
Yeah, to piggyback on what the brother said, what he alluded to about the woman who's been getting a lot of backlash on the internet by the whole bus driver thing, that's part of the disconnect as well. And that's what I mean by going online, going on other platforms and listening to the wrong people, and that person made some great points, but the woman that this other person was speaking to, let's keep in mind that they come from two different generations.
Oh my God.
They come from
They
two
did, right?
different
Yes,
generations.
yes,
They
yes.
come from, you have one person who has a different mindset than the other. That other person, who, by the way, is in the field of mental health, by the way.
Yes, I know exactly who she is.
Yeah. She comes from a time where all a man needed is a job, a car, and that's it.
Yep, and
That's
a place
it.
to lay his head.
That's it. The other person comes from this new generation where he has to have this, the sun, moons, and stars.
At the age of 30.
Or even at the age of 25.
But to be fair, all women from that generation don't think that. They don't all think.
No, they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, let's
No,
just be-
they
yeah,
don't.
we gonna-
You don't think that way, Valentina, do you? She's in that age.
for the money.
Yeah.
No, because I
Her,
mean,
her answer just said that. I mean, she's not. Yeah.
yeah.
So they don't all think
Well,
that.
yeah, we're
They're
just
not-
you're
they're
not
just
saying- I'm not
yeah,
saying-
yeah.
right,
But I
we're not-
get what you're saying. You're comparing the generations between the host and then the guest asking her, and it was too different because one does think a little different.
Yeah, think about it, and I'm not generalizing or anything. It's just that you look at the times in the past versus now. In the past, we didn't have social media, or our fathers, our grandfathers, our grandparents didn't have social media, and our ancestors, our grandparents didn't talk about taking vacations every month. You didn't hear people talking about taking vacations or talking about, I'm gonna get us a big mansion, a big house, and it's a generational thing. And I think that if more and more people that we see on the internet or that we come across in life, they make it seem, or they put themselves out there as if they're representing everybody else, or if they're the voice for everybody else, and that could at times be considered as generalizing that, if one person said it and the other person is saying the same thing, that means that everybody else is saying the same thing.
way.
But in reality, like Valentina, she doesn't think, I can tell by her energy, she doesn't think like the woman in today's generation, but a
lot of teaching and bringing her up in a different way, So yeah, that's probably where that comes from.
That's
And my
a great
mom,
thing,
the
too.
way my mother taught me. So yeah. So
We're going deep.
yeah, we're going deep. But do you think women in the 21st century, especially black women, have a harder time meeting a suitable romantic match? Okay, we got
Great segue.
he's married, so he can't answer,
I was
but
about to say, well, he can't. He knows. Yeah, we definitely still.
yeah.
What?
I mean, yeah, but my dad hasn't been. When did you get married to my mom? When you were what, 19?
I was 19.
And was married to her all the way till she died, the day she died, and then you got
52 years.
yes, and
But
then
that's a lion. That man.
so he probably don't know the
It's
dating scene the
full
same
of-
way you guys know
That
the
man
dating
full of
scene.
answers still to this day. He might not be on the. All right, that man. Let's listen to
Will you
him.
take the spotlight off of me?
How long
That's-
have you been married again? How long?
52 years.
52 years.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes, and it
That's
was
something
sickness
to be-
and through sickness and health. She's got sick and he was still there. He did not that. Oh, let me tell you before you guys answer this, there was a pastor. I don't know what his name was. He's out of Virginia Beach. I don't remember his name, but he was talking about an Alzheimer's. He said if your wife gets Alzheimer's, just go ahead and put her in the Alzheimer's hospital and just this is supposed to be a man of God said this.
Wow.
He meant it. It was not a joke.
No, this wasn't. It was Pat. Is it Pat Robinson out of Virginia Beach?
Pat Robertson said
Yes,
that?
Yes, I watched it, and he said yes.
Sick,
If your
man.
wife has Alzheimer's, just go ahead and put her in the home and go ahead about your business. I was like, seriously, that's what we doing now? And you, how old are you? About 80? And this is how you're thinking now? I mean, I can understand somebody younger maybe thinking that way, but you're 80 years old, and you're supposed to be a man of God. Supposed to be.
You can be a man of God.
I'm just saying.
You know, you can be a man of
You're
God
supposed to be
and
a reproach. You're supposed to be above a reproach. I mean, if that's what you're doing, then you're supposed to. You're not supposed to think like the world. That's how I see it. This is
You
why
actually heard him say that.
I watched the interview.
Wow.
I watched the interview.
I know it's a different conversation, but I know
Yeah.
some people of the cloth that appear to be one way or appear to be one thing, but behind closed doors.
Of course, that's the problem. That's the problem. But we're not gonna do religion. We're not doing religion. We're gonna stick to the 21st century, especially black women having a harder time meeting suitable matches.
I'm gonna say yes, and the reason why is, well, if she's got a good job, obviously she's making her money. She's not trying to find somebody, I guess, less financially better off than she is. She wants to find somebody equally educated, equally financed. So it's going to be harder for her if she's looking for somebody that makes more and has more, as we were talking earlier about bringing to the table. Now, if she's just looking for that partner and not going to worry about how much he makes and this and that, then it's going to be easier. But if she has the mindset, I got to find somebody that's on my level. He got to be making X. He got to be driving this. He got to be doing that. So that's the reason. She has to, come off her horse and say, hey, I'm not worried about the money, this and that. I'm looking for a partner.
Yeah.
I'm looking for somebody who's
People
going
have
to
false
uplift me.
expectations.
That's it, the expectations.
Yeah. I mean, to me, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter because I'm looking for partnership where it's emotional, protective, intimacy, because the money is going to come.
Right.
I mean, as long as he's not a bum, he has to have a job.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. He gotta have a job.
Right.
He's gotta have transportation. You
Even
cannot.
even a bus driver.
Right.
Even if it's a bus driver.
That doesn't bother me.
Yo, see, I tripped on a bus driver.
You know, I had to slide that in.
I'm just saying that, because
You better
you
get
can
up
build.
and drive it though. Don't be a whack bus
It
driver.
takes more than one person to build a house. I mean, even an architect has to have people to build a house, right? He can't just build it on his own. You have to. That's how I feel in a relationship. Just because he may not be where he wants to be doesn't mean that he can't build up to it. So I'm not looking for a guy that has everything together.
You're looking for someone with potential.
Yes, and someone that's going to love me unconditionally.
Yeah,
Unconditionally.
the
That's what I
mindset.
want.
Are you going to let a guy approach you who may not be on your level financially, or are you just going to shoo him away because of that? So it's really on the woman to make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
She can make it hard for herself, looking for that goose egg, that golden egg, that 1%er that everybody's looking for. Or go ahead, waste your time. So I think it's on her how hard it is
Okay.
for finding a man. It depends on her. What is she looking for? What is she willing to accept versus I got to get that 1%er.
Yeah.
Good luck.
that's
Good luck.
like-
I'm just saying good luck.
What was the question? It had to do with why does that?
Yeah, why do you think women in the 21st century, especially black women, have a harder time meeting suitable romantic matches? Yeah.
Hey, must be the
Let me hop in here. Let me hop in here real quick. Your question has to do with black women and black men, because at the same time, if we're talking about why black men are not getting with black women, right?
Well, that could be. That could be.
But the whole truth is this: black people are more distracted than anybody. So, and this is what I want to say about that. The reason why we cannot find the goal in what we approach.
Stop.
I'm sorry. The reason why we can't find the goal in what we approach. That's what you just said, okay?
Yeah.
We so good.
Can I just say something to him?
Yeah, look, I know you about to die, yo. I know you about to
I
die.
honestly forgot you was behind there.
I just want to know why it's always focused on what the black woman is doing wrong or the struggles that they
Easy.
have.
Let me.
Why don't it be?
Remember what you saying?
I got you.
Remember what you saying?
Yeah, I
Why
do.
is it
I do.
Also,
I
what's
do.
wrong with having a woman wanting a guy to think bigger and want more out of life? I mean, what's
That's
wrong?
not-
Another
it's
reason
not
why
that-
I use black women is because I'm a black female. So that's the reason why. I don't know how a white female thinks. I don't know how an Asian woman thinks. I don't know Hispanic. I try to stay based on my experience to relate. And that's,
Not
Just let me
based
know
on, I'm
when,
just
my
saying
man.
based on like
I'm
black men
ready.
and black women. It's never like what the black man has done wrong to the black
No,
woman.
I
to
got
push them
us,
away.
dog.
Okay, never mind.
We came in the same car.
All right.
I got us.
Okay.
I
You
got
ready?
us.
Okay,
Hold on a quick
Gabriel.
second. Let me get home.
All right. So the reason why we cannot find the goal in what we approach is because we are distracted. There was a time where we were not so distracted.
Yeah.
We approached a woman. That woman she was doing A, B, C, D, and E. You found whatever qualities in that woman. And man, we was listening to the OJs. You was listening to the Isleys. You was listening to I wasn't even from that area. That area. And my dad told me, he was like, "Hey, you guys are lost. You guys are listening to what people are saying to you about women, and they are wrong,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
All of this B's and the H's and all of this, that ain't black women.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to get into it real quick, right?
Okay.
So the reason why there's a disconnect is because something has distracted us from the path. The path has always been to a black woman. There was nothing before a black woman. A black woman started everything you see right now. That's the end. That's the end of the story. We don't even got to get into it. So when you go to, when I could just turn on Instagram right now, I see somebody done tricked the black woman into twerking, showing me her butt, showing me her boobs, showing me all of this. But really, all of that's the goal. That's the goal. GOLD, not G. Not GOAL.
It's the gold. It's the prize.
But we done turned it into the GOAL instead of the GOLD. That was the goal. You're supposed to look at her and say, that's what I'm gonna build with. Black women went to college. Look, when you look at the old footage, they were spraying us with the water hoses. Who was there? It wasn't Becky with the wavy hair.
Black women.
Right. They was spraying us with the water hoses. They went through everything. And then look, it came out. Well, King wasn't so faithful. Did she leave? Did Coretta leave?
No, she stayed.
Who
right
was
there.
there? Let me tell you something, man. You can ask the question, who was there right now? And it'll be black women. Black women do not leave the side of black men. We have been distracted. We done, oh, she got to be this. Oh, she ain't popping. Oh, she ain't blah, blah. She ain't got that ain't no Birkin. She ain't no, boy, stop. But she ain't popping. You ain't popping.
It's an expectation yet again.
I loved it when he said that. He said, what's the expectation? Look, man, what's your expectation for yourself before you approach her?
Ding, ding, ding.
What's your expectation for yourself before you approach her? And I'm gonna wake up. Look, when y'all post this, I'm gonna wake up to 200 DMs, and they beat me up every time I'm on somebody's show.
Okay, well,
You
that's a
overdo
good
it.
thing.
You overdo it.
No,
Yeah.
you don't. No, you don't.
No, man, I just know I'm right in between. This guy said he was 39. I'm right in between y'all. I'm right in the middle. I don't like to give my age because I like to say I'm timeless.
Yeah, you are timeless.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I know what's right and what's wrong. This man come from a generation that this man didn't come from, but somehow right and wrong ain't never left us. So the real answer is this, man. We distracted. That's why. That's why we cannot
Focus on one.
We can't connect.
Yeah.
That's why. That's it.
Let me come behind.
distracted.
Let me come behind. I got you, bro. All right. So I'm a product of a single parent household. My mom and dad never married. My mom just got married for the first time almost a year ago at 68.
Oh, wow.
And so I grew up in a household where television raised me, which is part of why I'm in the position that I am in now. Back then, and we talked about this previously, back then you had TV sitcoms beyond the rap videos that I grew up watching before Instagram, before there were already rap videos of black women shaking their behinds and everything. I also saw family sitcoms, 2-parent households, kids, family household. Black, we can name all the way from Cosby, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Family Matters. We can go on and on and on. But I was still hanging out with young guys at the time where all we wanted to do was just chase women. You know, there was a verse that 3 Stacks, Dre 3000 from Outkast said that I thought it was all about macking girls and women pimp fades. I'm from Atlanta, South Side, and that's what it was about. Just chasing women, chasing girls. I mean, we had Freaknik. That was the culture. That was the culture back then, right? So hear me out. I come from a community, from a world of womanizers, players, pimps. And in my mind, hanging with those boys at the time, I thought to myself, you know what, that would be cool. That would be cool to chase women, smash as many girls as I wanted to, because that was the thing back then. But then I saw the end result from what happened from that. Baby mamas, baby daddies, children being born out of wedlock, and all the other problematic issues that came out of that, out of the quote unquote the black community. And I said to myself, as I got older and older and older, and I had to X out a few of my friends. Still got love from them to this very day. But I had to X them out because I didn't want to be like one of them.
Okay.
So fast forward to now, I'm the only single guy in all of the guys that are happily married. And so being around those guys that are happily married, just like this gentleman across the table from me, your dad.
Vic
your
Brown.
Dad. I wanna get to that level of being married to 50, knock on wood, 53 years of marriage. I want to get to that of longer
yeah.
because I've been there and done that. I've been that guy that was a player. I've been that guy that was a womanizer. I've been that guy. But as you get older and older and older, and you start to see your circle of friends and see who they really are, and one of them checking you and be like, hey, bro, you don't want to go down that road. Right. Then you become the people that you surround yourself with. So I'm bringing it home to your original question. A part of that is, look who's in your circle. Who are you associating around? There's this quote out there that says, single women keep women single. If you're around women that are baddies or Instagram chicks or whatever, you going to be a reflection of them. You need to surround yourself around people that's not only going to help you get to that level, but it's also going to feed your spirit, nourish your spirit, and help you find the king that you desire.
Girl.
And the same thing for the guys. If you find yourself, I don't know which camera to look at. If you find yourself surrounded by guys, by N-words, which all they want to do is just go to Magic City or Hooters, that's all you're going to be accustomed to. You need to surround yourself with men that are about business.
If they choose,
And they
that's
choose
true.
to-
yeah, if they
and-
that's the life they want. That's another
If that's
thing.
and
Right.
that's cool. That's
That's what
cool.
I'm saying.
That's just
That's
what it
what
is.
you're
That's just
saying.
what it is.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. I mean, if those guys just want to do that, that's what it is. It goes back to what I said earlier. You can't force a person to do what you want them to do.
And they can't complain about not having good women because they're not going where the good women are, or not want to be around those women like that because they're choosing to be around
At the
Hooters,
end-
Magic City.
At the end of the day, it's a choice, but you also choose who you associate yourself with.
Very much.
That's the bottom line.
So yeah. So we gonna dig just a little bit deeper, a little deeper, a little deeper.
How much time we got left?
Yeah, we got about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Do you think people can share multiple partners and no one gets jealous? And there's a reason why I bring this up. There's a reason. And there's a number 2 to this question.
I just want to say, is Valentina qualified to answer that question as well, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she can kick in. She's the host. She can kick in anytime she get ready. So do you think you can share multiple partners and no one gets jealous? Because
What do you mean? Like share like?
share.
You mean like poly? What's that?
Well, okay.
Right.
Poly.
Open
Well,
relationship,
that's
poly.
the next question that
So
I have.
you mean like if I'm saying like, hey, we're in an intimate situation. I might be in an intimate situation with somebody else. Don't trip.
You straight up about it.
All right, yeah. You want me to? No, I can get mine in real quick.
Yeah, get yours in
It
real
all
quick.
depends. It all depends on who you ask. I mean, we're all wired for whatever, right? Like we're all wired. There's some of us that's wired for that, and some of us that are not. So if somebody hits you with that, and you're not wired for that, then you know what to do.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're like. That's what they'll do. You know, they're interested in doing that. But if you're not, if you're with it, then and they with it, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's a fine line because me and my ex used to go to the strip club, and she actually didn't care if I would get lap dances from girl. Like she would pay for them.
Oh dang. Ooh.
It's a lot of people like that.
No, I know.
But
I know for a fact.
but don't get it twisted.
You said she's your ex, right?
That is right, and that is a controlled situation. And she insisted on controlling it. Hey, if we're gonna go, I am gonna take you. I will pay. I will choose, and I will
Pay.
the money.
So I feel like it's controlled. So that don't mean I get to go off and
Do mingle.
she went with that.
You ain't mingling.
So at the end of the day, like like I said, it all depends on who you ask. It all depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
We all wired from different things.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm gonna keep it going, so you guys can jump in more. So, what is your thoughts on poly life, swinger life, or open relationships? And have you ever been involved in one or had one? And I will say this before you guys: I have been invited into poly with a few people, and of course, obviously, I said no. Never swinger, because swinger and poly are two different types of sexual lifestyles that people don't understand. Swingers is just like, married couples having sex, once, twice a week with, the switching the partners. But poly is actually coming in, living with the person, or actually being in that relationship. And that's the type of relationship I was invited in. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not going to work for me. Because I don't share penises.
God, no.
So
I totally understand. As you shouldn't.
I think it's the level of the relationship. I think, and Lexee and I did kind of talk about this before, but I think the stronger the relationship, the more selfish you feel when it comes to that person. So you're probably not gonna be like with all that. You're gonna feel a sense of selfishness, like this is my boo. Maybe before when we were just friends and wilding out and doing things, but now it's serious. I'm serious about you. I'm gonna be selfish with you. So no, it's not gonna go down.
Hey. Anybody? Anybody?
I'm actually both. I'm with both. once again, and this is why the premise of from my end is more communication. I can be monogamous or I can be into that.
Okay.
We just have to we have to have like that strong communication to see how, what the boundaries are at the end of the day. It's all about the boundaries. So I can go with both.
Okay.
To be quite honest.
Ooh.
Obviously, I'm married. Been married almost all my
Your life.
and none of those situations would appeal to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
Totally monogamous.
Good.
I mean, look, like I said, my answer don't change. However somebody's wired, then that's what it. But
Have you ever experienced?
No. Me personally, I don't want that. The real reality is every day you wake up and if you have one wife or one girlfriend, it's hard enough to manage that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't see.
No, we hard.
No, it's not even y'all. It's the idea of us. Like sometimes I look at it like the difficulty is not in women. The difficulty is in the combination of the two. So it's like, what I look like bringing another person? What? There's no way. I'm not gonna do that. So. I don't know. That's not for me. I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that. But more power to.
But they're promoting it now more on television.
And listen, get at it if that's what you wire for. But now I'm gonna tell y'all something now. Y'all gonna get into that stuff, and some of y'all just think it's just gonna be sex, and I get to have to. Boy, it's gonna be some real life situations come from that because women are people. They're not dolls.
No.
Women wake up with emotions, feelings, actions, reactions. I want this. I want to do this. I want to go here. No, I changed my mind. I want to. But that times two. Are you crazy?
You said times two.
I don't want that.
You couldn't be Solomon. You don't even know how Solomon even did it.
No, that was a completely different. Solomon did not drive a BMW. He did not have.
He was a king.
So
How many women did he? How many concubines?
Listen, that was nothing there then. We're in a completely different. This is a digital space where people exist, where people like exchange money, and people do mass shootings, and people do. This world is completely different.
Yeah, you have a whole mental space different.
People love to do that, right? People love to be like so and so from the Bible. I want to see him try it in 2023. Let's go. Let's try it.
Somebody gonna be dead.
Right, exactly. So yeah, no, I want to take the practical approach, man. Like I only got so much time left. I don't want to spend it trying to figure out how to please two women.
Right.
Get out of here. That's crazy.
And that's also for those that are watching and listening. They may not even be. There are some people that are just not monogamous minded. To keep it 100.
I get that.
I remember I had a conversation with this woman that I was talking to. We haven't even been on one date yet, and I found myself having a debate with this one woman. Actually, she did most of the talking. I just listened, but it was still a debate. And she didn't like the whole polyamorous open relationship thing, and it wasn't something that I put out there on the table or I brought to her attention. It was just a topic that she automatically brought up. Like, I don't see why people are in polyamorous relationship and you got STDs and HIV and all that other stuff. And my only pushback was let people live. There are some people who are just not meant to be in a monogamous relationship, and there are people who just cannot keep their penis inside their pants, So I'd rather see somebody in a open relationship or in a, throuple and all these kind of other name relationships than to constantly cheat or have an affair with that person, knowing that you're just not mentally meant to be with one person.
Point, man.
I mean, I knew someone who actually was in a poly. I knew them, and they asked me to be in the poly with them, and of course, obviously, I denied. Right. And a year later, they end up getting a divorce because she found someone that she liked better. And so I asked, so when I found out that they divorced, I was friends with the husband. And I asked him, I said, well, when you go into your next relationship, is you going to be part of poly? He said, no, I'm not going to do that. And they had children and everything. And she left him to be with another man because they had an open relationship and they also had the poly relationship as well. And I'm just like, see, that's what I mean. I feel there's always consequences to everything you do, whether you agree with it or not. Eventually, somebody's going to get some more feelings for somebody else. Yeah. That's how I look at it. That's our human nature. To have more feelings for somebody else, or he does it better than you do, or every time I'm upset, he's always there. You're never there. So like you said, women have emotions, and we're gonna find a reason why someone is better than you are.
Once again, go back to communication, man.
And you know what? That's my next question.
Yeah.
Do you think communication is priority in any type of relationship? And if so, why? I mean, we've dove into that, but
with two people have to speak in a relationship, two people have to open their mouths. I think without sounding too complex in today's society, it seems to me as if communication isn't the key, which is supposed to be. Happiness and survival is the key to a lot of people.
Because if you're not happy in the situation that you're in, you're gonna jump. Oh, I don't like this. I'm not happy here. I'm gonna jump over here. I'm gonna jump over there instead of communicating of why we have these issues.
Well, communication, and that's why I said before that you have to, like what this gentleman said earlier, you got to read the room. And also to study what that person's communication style is. Everybody's communication style is different. You might be with somebody who likes to talk a lot, and then you might be with somebody who just give you short sentences, don't like to talk a lot.
Yeah.
And you have to see what is going to happen after that. So that's why I say communication is supposed to be a very big part in the relationship, because without any type of communication engagement, how are you all going to get to where you need to be? How are you all going to level up together? How will you all find out more about each other without communication?
I don't know. Some people, I believe some people just go through relationships and they don't communicate. They just kind of just go through the day. And there's really not. And another thing, as men, I find that you guys don't communicate as much as a woman. Like, we can have complete dialogue with you guys and you'll be like, okay.
Or do women not hear it correctly?
And what do you mean? Ooh, okay. What do you mean by that?
And that wasn't really like for me to just get like.
No. I know. But what do you mean? Yeah.
So like sometimes men communicate. Everybody has their level of communication and what's inside of them. How they can and can only express it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to get out of your own way to be able to listen and hear it.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not saying that every woman does that. Every woman, sometimes women can just be like, wow, so continue on. But sometimes women can be so steadfast on the point that they've made that the only thing that they can hear is themselves.
Yeah.
Inside of their own heads, regardless of what a man has said in communication. Now, with that being said, men do that too.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is your question is great. The real thing is this: can we communicate? Can we? Because if you're not communicating with somebody that can hear you, you're talking to a stop sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period. Point blank.
Or they have their own agenda in their brain.
Your own agenda is going to lead you to your own destination.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and listen, I know I talk big, but I've been that guy that wasn't listening. I've been that guy that was like, but I said, listen, I'm trying to show you. It's like, yo, you didn't even listen. She just talked to you for 4 minutes and you wasn't even listening. That I've been that guy. Clearly that didn't get us nowhere, you know.
Yeah.
And I've seen that woman. So the bottom line is this. The real question is, can you hear me?
Yeah. So have you learned from that, from
Don't
being
it sound
that
like
way?
I did? I definitely,
Well,
absolutely.
okay, yeah.
You know, absolutely. At this point, I'm not even. I'm so my number one phrase is I'm not qualified. I love
love to.
because I'm not. How in the hell am I gonna tell you anything? I'm just as lost as we're all just here, right? Like we're all
learning.
The biggest
this
thing
journey.
that I learned is you have not been listening. You've been talking.
Well, that's how we learn as an actor. We have to
Well, that's
listen
why I
in
do a
order
podcast, because I talk a lot. But the thing is like, yeah, but I'm saying like, man, you get so much from listening. Learn how to listen. Open yourself up to what is being said. It might
before you react.
Might get you a little progression. I know men think like, hey man, I'm thinking this, and I'm the man, and I'm the head, and like your man said, I'm the Christian, and Christian said what did you hear in order to be the head?
Yeah.
Nobody said you shouldn't be the head. I never said that structure is wrong. I never said that. But the Bible even said, man, you open up your ears in order to be able to, listening is the way.
Well, leadership doesn't mean rule.
Right. It's not rule.
Yeah.
So being able to, so communication goes back to being, the biggest thing in communication is being able to hear, not being able to talk.
Yes. Or at least when you do talk, you're going to correspond with exactly what you heard.
And I'm even willing to say this right now. What I just said needs to be ingested by who just said it. I need to listen to myself.
Before you open your mouth.
Before I even said what I just said. Because you said that, but you don't always be listening. You talk a lot. So...
Okay.
Think before you say. Think before you say.
Right.
Well, I know that probably all of you, with the exception of me and my dad and Valentina, that has children, but I just want to, if you had children, how would you think? Oh yeah, you do have a son. My bad, you do have a son, D-Rail. I'm so sorry. I had to go back to October,
My son is
September.
28 years old.
September. I had to go back to September. But if your child asked you what is the best ingredients for a successful monogamous relationship, what would you tell them?
You mean before he even got into a relationship?
I mean,
or today?
yeah. I mean, as a child, did you talk about relationships with him before he actually, really decided, okay, I really like this girl. He's, 16, 17. Did you ever have that conversation?
Wow, I gotta think about that one.
What about you, Dad? What did you feel with your sons? What'd you tell them, if anything?
It's been so long ago. I can't remember those conversations.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It all goes back to the communication thing. You've got to be able to express your feelings and understand what your partner is trying to express to you for a relationship to be successful.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, I mean, if you did have children, Howard, I mean, do you think or would know what you would?
I would say also, as Mr. Brown just said about communicating, pay attention to the nonverbal communication, because your mouth can lie, but that body language doesn't lie.
See, no, we didn't even talk about the body language.
It's not gonna lie.
Solid gold. Right
Yes.
there, boy.
Her facial expressions.
It's not gonna lie. She can say what she wants, but that face, that body language, that demeanor, that attitude, you can't fake.
She don't want to be around you at that when you walking around the house. She avoiding you at all costs. She in the other room all day. Something wrong.
You ask how she doing, she says fine, but it's the way she said fine. Her mouth said fine, right? but it's the way she said it. You know,
That's
you got
why
to pick up on those cues.
That's why they said when you text a guy, when you actually text, since there's no personality when you text, that for a guy you need to send emojis along with it, so he would understand that you're either joking or whatever. Because men are just gonna
said that?
some relationship
Is that what you do? You
guru.
send emojis?
No, when you're having a conversation with them and you'll send emoji like, hi, I'm laughing. Instead of saying LOL, you might send a laugh emoji to say, hey, this
I'm
is...
socially inept, man. That
Yeah,
don't
I
get-
know.
that's a lot. I think everybody in here gets it when we get text messages.
Yeah, I know.
We know what's happening.
But like I just said, people always giving advice about certain things, but that's why I like doing the podcast, because I feel like everybody's individual. Everybody does things individually.
That's
what
true.
works for them.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
Can I answer that question? Just give you a short answer. I'm going to agree with the gentleman over there. I'm going to Howard to re-echo what he said about paying attention to the nonverbal cues, but most importantly, what I would teach my young boy, I don't have children, just FYI, but if I had children, especially young boys, what I would teach or tell young boys is that girls are not boys. Don't treat girls as if they are like you. What is being normalized in today's society is that boys would play with other girls and would hit them. And an important thing that we got to stress to our young boys today is don't ever, ever, ever put your hands on a girl.
And don't call girls bro.
bro.
Well, bruh.
Bruh.
I know, right?
I know.
What is that? Like,
You know.
I be seeing that.
I know.
Like,
My younger daughters do it, and I'll be like, I'm not your bruh.
Yeah.
I'm your mom.
Right.
or I'm
Yeah.
not a man. You know what I
Period.
mean? Like, we have to, what are we doing with that? Y'all,
Yeah.
and I do realize, I don't even care how old I sound. That's not, so we had to get, like, there's some things that are in place that we got to keep in place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't call a girl bro, man. Like, don't call these girls bro. I don't want to be, I'm not like bro.
Or shouty.
What?
Or shouty.
So-
Yeah, even
well,
though a lot of people
Shawty,
don't say
that was,
that.
that was a female. You always called back when I was in high school. When you said Shawty, what's up, Shawty? That was you relating to a
that's
female.
something different.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
does not have
Yeah.
a gender
But that's what. But anytime a guy would say that,
destination. Yeah.
it was more related to
bro
a
was
female.
always a man, though. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not calling a girl
And I
bro.
know we're actually we're running short, so I wanted to ask one more question before we head out. Do you believe the saying "how you treat your mother is how you would treat a potential partner, spouse, or romantic interest"?
There's some truth in it, no question about it. I mean, your mom is the very first woman that you've ever known. She was the introduction
To love.
to a woman,
Yeah.
period. Love,
Yep.
no question about it. Me and my mom, just to say we was crazy close is an understatement.
Okay.
Like, me and my mom were crazy close. And it shows up in, I don't care how mad I get at a woman, and some of the lessons that I've learned from the men in the neighborhood too. A girl that I dated, her dad told me, always, you could tell that I respect women. Like, I'm not even, I'm not struggling with that part of it, but I do think that it's a lot of validity in that statement. So yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an old song that says, I won't try to sing it, but it says, I want a girl just like the girl that married my dad. And I think that relates to a lot, or probably a majority of individual males today. To some degree, they all look for something that resembles their mother. There's always an image that they have of what the perfect woman is, and that in most
There's something to be
cases
said
relates
about that.
back to mom.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about that. One of my homeboys he tried to tell me that all of the girls that I've dated look the same.
Oh, really? They
Right,
look like
and
your
then
mom?
we was passing pictures back and forth, and they all look like my mom.
They do. So
And
you have the
and-
physical
Yeah.
aspect of
Yeah.
your mother.
Yeah. I dated a girl that acts exactly like my mom. I dated a girl that looks exactly
Because your
like
mother
my mom.
passed away.
She did,
right?
yeah.
Yes. I watched one of your podcasts, the ones that you did, and you guys did. A matter of fact, Mother's Day.
Yo, and that guy found out my mom died. He stood
Yep.
up and he cried and walked out the room.
Yep.
That was He was close to my mom. Like,
Yes.
he used to play cards together, and he didn't even know she was gone. Like we was separated for that long. He found out she died, and he stood up and he walked out of the room. And he cried.
Yeah.
My mom was a force,
I bet.
right? So
Yeah.
like, yo, I'm not with a mom like that. You're not gonna come out and call a girl bro, or you're not gonna disrespect some. I'm bigger than that. I don't care what. I'm a man. You can't do nothing
Yeah.
to me. You
Yeah.
crazy. Like, I could just be like, all right, ma'am. I don't have to feel so taken back by anything a woman is doing.
Yeah.
My mom taught me that. You're
Yeah.
big enough to be able to. You can handle it. Go do your. Get out. Move on. If you you don't have to fight and cuss and do.
Yeah.
I save all, and I don't know what kind of audience you got, but I save all my aggression for men.
You should.
You know
you
what I'm
a
saying?
man.
If I see, if it's an active shooter, or if it's something, I'm gonna save all my aggression for men. I don't save my aggression for women.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mama taught me that. Don't you put your hands on them. Don't you respect, say, and that's just how I carried it.
Well, that's how I feel about with my brothers, because my mother was a very strong woman, and their wives are all strong. And even my youngest, Lewis, I think his potential wife, future wife, she's strong-natured as well. So yeah, they got 3. So just imagine when I go visit them, it's kind of like, I sit back because it's their house. So I'm just gonna sit back and watch. I'm not gonna, because I'm strong-natured because of my mother.
That's cool.
But I definitely do not tread on other strong women's, their property or whatever, because it's, you want to keep the peace. But yeah, this has been exciting for me that I had 4 guys come on my podcast. This is what, our 6th? I think it's our 6th podcast, and we're trying to just get ourselves out there, and I love entertainers because I think they look at us differently. They think that we think we're above everybody else, and we really are not. We just enjoy the entertainment industry. We enjoy, entertaining people,
Right.
whether it's actor, whether it's on radio, whether it's on a podcast, actor, and then a drummer. Matter of fact, before we go, we got about 5 minutes. What's the song that Bloodline?
Bloodstone.
Yeah, Bloodstone.
Natural high.
Yeah.
That's it. Take
Because
10,000
I told him that you used to sing Mom that song. I didn't realize that, because you used to walk around and sing that song all the time.
Quite frequently.
Yeah, and had no idea.
Yes, that is such an awesome group. I'm just honored to be sitting next to you because I love Bloodstone. That's such that you were just a part of that group.
Well, I wasn't really part of the group.
Yeah, tell the story, Dan.
You've heard of the fisherman who went out fishing and caught a fish about this big. By the time he got home, the fish had grown to this size. Well, that story had the same characteristics.
Okay.
I actually took music lessons with the original drummer with Bloodstone, Melvin Webb, who unfortunately was killed early in his career. But my experience with them was not quite what Tricia thinks it was. I was asked by Melvin one time when he couldn't go to rehearsal with the group if I would sit in and play drums with him, and I did that. And I did that one time only. I didn't really perform with the group, so I wasn't actually part of.
Well, I know you
I
were-
went to high school with
Yeah.
all of these guys. As a matter of fact, the lead singer, Charles McCormick, his father was a minister at the church I went to, and we grew up together pretty much. There's only one member of the group that's still alive, Harry Williams. Everybody else has gone on to meet their maker, but that's the story.
Yeah,
I
but
was-
you said that you were better than, because you went into the military, that you were a better drummer
I
than the
felt
guy.
like I was, obviously.
Look, that's all it takes. That's how you felt. That's how we
But
gonna
this
take it.
this was before they even became Bloodstone.
Yeah, this
back
was
in
before.
1990.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was my only excursion into the entertainment
Yeah.
avenue.
Well, you did say that your teacher wanted you to be an actor, but you were just kind of like, nah, I don't really want to do that. I remember
Well,
you
yeah,
telling that,
I did take a few acting classes at college, and it just wasn't for me. They just kind of threw me in there and said, do your thing. No script or anything, and I said, no, I can't do this. So,
Yeah, that's that logical side.
Improv.
yeah.
Yeah. That logical
Indeed,
side was like,
indeed.
nah, I don't want to do that. I like to stick
Now
to
this gentleman
engineering.
over here, he could do that quite easily.
Derail.
Don't let me surprise you how I'm not like this at all times.
Well, yeah, you tell them that story. You always on 100.
Oh yeah.
You always on
I
100.
am.
But I'm glad that we got together this evening with Candid Talk and just learned a little bit about how you guys feel about, life experience, relationships, and, just thanks again for tuning in.
I love it.
I love it.
And
Yeah, thank you.
I look forward to talking to you guys off air, but you guys have a great evening, and
Thank you.
thank you for
Thank you.
watching Candid Talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is Lexee Love, and
Valentina versus Valentina.
see you guys next time.